Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone doing? Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, I'm doing well. Inshallah, let's begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. رب زدني علما رب زدني علما رب زدني علما. اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم فقهنا في الدين اللهم فقهنا في الدين. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. So inshallah today we're going to be doing Surah Fatiha. And the way this class is going to work inshallah is that you're going to repeat after me inshallah. And try saying it exactly how I say it so that you can have your tajweed really good. So you're going to repeat after me. I'm going to say the verses, and then after we have the repetition after me, I will analyze the different rules, and I will teach you different rules that we learned inside the surah. And also while I'm reciting, there will be someone else reciting behind me so that I can get a kind of audio view of how much time or duration I should stop for you guys to repeat after me. So inshallah, make sure that you guys are repeating after me when I am reciting, and then after that we will go and analyze about it inshallah. Inshallah, press 1 when you are ready to recite, inshallah. Let's begin. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Good job, mashallah. Good job, mashallah. Now we recited the lesson 3 times so that we have more practice, and then inshallah we go over the linguistic analysis. So inshallah we'll have it second and third time recitation, and then we'll go over the Tajweed Rules. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. Good job, mashallah. Now, inshallah, we'll have the last time of recitation, and then I'll start going over the rules, inshallah. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن الرحيم. مالك يوم الدين. مالك يوم الدين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. غير المغضوب عليهم Good job, mashallah. Now, inshallah, we will be starting to go over the different Tajweed rules, and I will go on a slow pace, inshallah, so you guys can kind of get acquainted with everything. Obviously, we're not going to finish Surah Fatiha today in the analysis part of it, but I would like to, as we go on through Surah Fatiha, every time if you guys hear it and you guys repeat after me the whole surah, then it will help you it will help you have it stuck in your mind so that you can like recite it correctly, inshallah, every time that you say it. So first we can start with Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, inshallah. Over here on Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, I would like to point out the Bismillah over here. On Bismillah, usually when we're saying Allah, we usually have a full mouth, right? But over here, why are we not saying Bismillah? The reason why we're not saying Bismillah is there's a kasra under the meme. So I'm going to teach you this new rule over here. It's called Lam Jalala, right? Lam Jalala. Anyway, so Lam Jalala over here, whenever we have Lam Jalala, it is when you have a fatha or a dhamma on the previous letter. So say if this had a fatha on it or a dhamma on it, then it would be Allah, right? But since this has a kasra on it, then we're not going to say Allah, we're going to have it empty mouth, right? So the rule only applies the full mouth. When you're having Lam Jalala, that means when you have the full mouth on the Allah, right? The Lam on the Allah, that's when you have the full mouth over there, that's when it's Lam Jalala. And it's heavy, right? So when you have it full mouth over there, inshallah. So whenever you have a fatha or a dhamma on the previous letter before the word Allah, that's when you have Lam Jalala. But in this case, we're not going to have Lam Jalala. Why? Because there's a kasra underneath the meme, right? So you say Bismillah, you have it empty mouth, right? You don't have it heavy mouth, you don't say it full, you don't say Allah, you say Bismillah, right? That's why, inshallah, since this rule is not being applied here because of the meme and having a kasra underneath it, we're going to say Bismillah, inshallah. Also, I wanted to go over on Ar-Rahman over here. Whenever we have a ra, whenever there's a fatha on the ra, we need to make sure that we pronounce it full mouth, right? So make sure whenever you say Bismillahir-Rahman, then you need to make sure that your ra over there is full. You pronounce it with a full mouth, Rahman. Rather than rah, instead of rah, you say Rahman. Yes, Rahman. Make sure you say Rahman, inshallah. But if there's a kasra underneath the ra, then you need to make sure that it's not full mouth, it's empty mouth. But in this case, over here on Ar-Rahman, the ra has a full mouth on it, a fatha on it, so we're going to do full mouth, inshallah. Also, I wanted to go over the huruf al-halaqi, right? The huruf al-halaqi means the letters of the throat, right? The letters of the throat. Some of you might be familiar with it. I will go over what they are. So what the letters of the throat are huruf al-halaqi. They're called huruf al-halaqi. They are Hamza Ha, Ain Ha, Ghain Ha. Those are the letters of huruf al-halaqi. The throat letters. Make sure that you're writing notes, inshallah, over here. So later on later on you can apply these rules in different places too, inshallah. So huruf al-halaqi, right? The throat letters, Hamza Ha, Ain Ha, Ghain Ha. I'll repeat it again, inshallah. Hamza Ha, Ain Ha, Ghain Ha. So these are the letters that you use your throat in, right? Yes, make notes. I want you guys to, inshallah, try your best to make as many notes as you can, inshallah. I can slow down, inshallah, if it's a little too fast for you. Okay, inshallah, I'll repeat it. Hamza, ha, Ain, ha, and Ghain, kha. Jazakallah khairan, Hamza. Yes. We're doing Tajweed right now, right? So we're learning how to properly recite the Quran, right? So over here, I'm telling you the different rules because you need to make sure that you know the rules, right? So I'm telling you the different rules so that you guys could use those rules, because if you know a rule, you can apply it over and over again, right? So if you recognize where to use the different rules, then you can use them in different places too, right? So you need to make sure that you know the rules. But I'm going through the surah with you guys so that you guys could have a practical example for it, inshallah. I think that's our lesson for today, inshallah. Time ran out, inshallah. So just make sure that you know the huruf halaqi and the lam jalala, inshallah. I'll end over here. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. How is everyone doing? Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Alhamdulillah. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And all of you, mashallah, are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to come and join us and learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, learn the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So it's really amazing, and we're all very excited and very happy. My name is Sarwat. I am your teacher for the Quran, and we are all going to, inshallah, learn the Quran, the tafsir of the Quran, as Sister Javiria is your Tajweed teacher. And alhamdulillah, we just learned, mashallah, Tajweed with her. And now we are going to discuss and learn the tafsir of Quran, inshallah. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي من يهد الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى اللهم آتنا أفضل ما تؤتي عبادك الصالحين آمين. And alhamdulillah, it's very exciting, and I want to congratulate all of you. May Allah give barakah in our knowledge, inshallah. And let's start. First of all, we should all know that we are here. For what reason are we here? Why are you coming and joining this class? You're joining this class to learn the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to learn the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Quran. MashaAllah, MashaAllah. Very good, very good. And you know that one of the things that I'll tell you, that is the deen, the knowledge of the deen, the ilm, is something very, very important in our deen, to gain knowledge. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala especially, told Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam something in the Quran. He ordered in Surah Taha, ayah number 114. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقُلْ رَبِّ زِدْنِي عِلْمًا. and say, my Lord, increase me in knowledge. Why? Because knowledge makes people special. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran, in Surah Zumr, ayah number 9. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, هل يستوي الذين يعلمون والذين لا يعلمون? Are those who know equal to those who don't know? Means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling that those people who know are higher, have higher daraja than those people who don't know. So we want to gain the knowledge of our deen. And we all pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah gives us the knowledge of deen. Inshallah. So as I told you right now about the greatness, about the higher level of those people who have knowledge. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Surah Mujadila, ayah number 11, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, يَرْفَعِ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَالَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ دَرَجَاتٍ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will exalt in degree those of you who believe and those who have been granted knowledge. So those people who have granted knowledge, Allah will increase their darajat. They will get higher level. And also on the day of judgment, what will happen? What will happen on the day of judgment is that the person, the more he would know, he or she will know the Quran, the higher he will go in Jannah. So we need to make sure that we learn Quran and we increase because we want to go high in Jannah. Now, let me tell you, since we are starting the Quran, so we should know some things about Quran. It's an exciting day, it's a beautiful day. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose us to learn the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as we open this book, what does the meaning of Quran is? What does the Quran mean? What is the root word of Quran? The word Quran. Qaf, Ra, Hamza. Qara'a. And Quran, why the name Quran is given to this book? Means it is repeated. The one that is Qara'a, what does Qara'a mean? Means he read or something that is read again and again. So the book, the Quran is a book that is read again and again. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as this book is revealed, the night that it is revealed, the night of the Quran, which night it was revealed? Can anyone tell me? Laylatul Qadr, right? It is revealed. Very good, Rayyan. It is revealed on Laylatul Qadr. And because of that, you see the Laylatul Qadr, when we worship, when we pray in Laylatul Qadr, when we do ibadah, in Laylatul Qadr, it's such a special night. It is such a special night that if we do ibadah in this night, in the Laylatul Qadr, what will happen? We will get the reward of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for 1,000 months. Very good, Umar. Very good. For 1,000 months. So Quran is so special. And it is revealed in which month? In Ramadan. And we know that Ramadan is such a beautiful month. We just completed it. And we all are missing it. Right? And we want to get the next Ramadan also. So subhanallah. Now, as all of us know that Quran is the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I'll tell you some of the other names of Quran also. Some of the other names of Quran. One is Quran. As we know in Surah Rahman, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الرحمن علم القرآن. That Allah is Ar-Rahman. and he taught the Quran. And also, one of the other name of Quran is Al-Kitab, the one that is written. And in Surah Al-Baqarah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us what? In the ayah number 1 and 2. Alif Lam Mim ذَلِكَ الْكِتَابُ لَا رَيْبَ فِيهِ Al-Kitab. That's right. And then there is another beautiful name, Al-Furqan, the one that distinguishes, right? And then another name is Al-Dhikr, the advice. And then Al-Tanzil, Al-Tanzil, the one that has been revealed. And then another name is Al-Haq, the truth. And Ahsan al-Hadith, Ahsan al-Hadith, Burhan. Another name is Majid. Another name is Kareem, Azim, Aziz, Noor, that is light. You know how the Quran makes this, our life, filled with light. You know, the Quran is so great, and when it comes in our life, it helps us distinguish what is right and what is wrong. And it also brightens our life. Why? Because the darkness of the sadness of different things, the problems in our life, it feels like, whenever we read Quran, we get the solution for the problems. It's Noor. It's like, the grief and the lack of knowledge is like darkness. And the same way, like I'll give you an example of one of the person, he became Muslim, and he said that he was actually a very learned person in his religion. He was a Christian before, but he was not satisfied with his religion, and he said that he was looking for truth. And when he found the Quran, he felt like it was darkness all around him, and after he found the Quran, he found the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he felt like he was enclosed in one room, and it was dark everywhere. But as soon as he found the Quran and this deen, it was like Noor, as if somebody turned on the light, and it's like all he can see, everything around him. So Quran is the Noor, and also it's Maw'izah, it's advice, and it's Shifa, it's a cure, because you see it cures our hearts. Yes, it cures us from inside, and all the pain and the griefs and the darknesses go away. And Huda, it's Hidayah, it's the guidance. Rahmah, another name is Rahmah, it's the mercy. And another name is Mubarak, and another name is Mubin, and Hakim. It's filled with the wisdom, hikmah. You see, when we learn Quran, what happens? We do wise decisions. We can understand things better. We become wise. The wisdom comes with the Quran. You can right away, when you see things, you don't just see things from their outward. You can actually see the things from inside, and you can understand the reality. So you don't be the fool anymore. The things that some people, they get fooled by stuff, but when you read Quran, when you learn the Quran and you recite the Quran, and when you understand the tafsir of the Quran goes inside you and you become wise. So it's Hakim. Another is Ali. It's high. And then Bashir. It gives the glad tidings of Jannah. The glad tidings of for those people who obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who don't like to disobey, they obey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are the Muslimin, the Mu'mineen, they believe in Allah and they do good deeds, there is a glad tidings for them of Jannah and the forgiveness, and they will go and they will reside, they will have big, beautiful, beautiful castles in Jannah. The Jannah is so beautiful. It's a beautiful place where there are lakes, where there is everything that a person can wish. Subhanallah. So it's a glad tidings also. And Naveer, it is also warner. This book, the Quran, is also a warner. It warns us that if a person disobey Allah, when a person gets the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and still denies it and disbelieve and do bad things, then he will be punished. And there is a hellfire. The Quran also tells us about that. So it's Nadir. And there is painful punishment inside in the hellfire for those people who disobey Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who don't believe and then they do bad things. So there is punishment. So it's Nadir. It's warner. And then also it's Musaddiq. And it's Muhaymin. Muhaymin, what does Muhaymin mean? The protector. Why? Because when we learn Quran, we learn the right thing and we get protected. We get protection from Jahannam. We get the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And as we know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to get the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when we get the mercy of Allah, and we come in the protection of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's the big blessing. It's a very big blessing. So the Quran by itself is amazing thing. It's an amazing blessing of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And also let me tell you, sometimes we have, we say, okay, it's just, Quran, it's just a spiritual thing. No, actually, when you learn Quran, you gain a lot of scientific knowledge also. Quran gives you wisdom. When you learn Quran, you learn all different kind of knowledge. You become a very wise person. You gain a lot of different kinds of knowledge. Almost more than 1,000 ayahs, the verses of Quran, are scientific. And the thing is that the Quran has a lot of blessings, And the Quran, when you will develop, inshallah, as you will develop the relationship with the Quran, you will see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put barakah in your life. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give a lot of barakah in your life. And also, do you know that Quran you just don't have relationship in this worldly life with Quran. When we die, and if we had very good, strong relationship with Quran, we learn Quran, we read Quran, and we understand Quran, we recite it beautifully, what will happen when we go in our grave? The person who has a strong relationship with the Quran, in the grave, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will send Quran, and the Quran will be like a beautiful friend in the grave. Imagine the person who is inside the grave all alone, right? Nobody can be with us in the grave, right? But the Quran will be as a good friend, so that we don't feel scared inside the grave. And also on the day of judgment, when a person will get up, the day of judgment, imagine how, mashallah, all of you are somewhere at least introduced a little bit about the day of judgment, right? And the day of judgment is so scary, because everything will be broke. We will not have our homes. We will not have all these luxuries that we have today, right? And the sky will be broken and will be really red and everything will be, really scary. But even at that day, the person who reads Quran and who has a strong and special connection with Quran, those people, the Quran will come as a friend for them, right? So we need to make sure that we develop a strong relationship with Quran. So main purpose of our class is to make a strong relationship with the Quran. And you know what? Quran, it is a right of Quran that we make a strong relationship with Quran. We learn the Quran with proper tajweed. We understand the Quran with proper tafsir. You know, we should recite it and understand it and then act upon it. So, inshallah, with this, I will conclude. Since the time is up, I want all of you to write down what you learned today about Quran. And I want you to, at least by next week, when I see you, I want all of you to know 5 names of Quran by heart. So when you introduce Quran to other people, as I taught you some of the names of Quran, I want all of you to memorize 5 of them. And I want your homework is to teach someone else, about the names of Quran and the importance and significance of Quran. And also, whoever your friends, tell them about the significance of Quran, inshallah. Inshallah. So I will conclude in that, and next week, inshallah, when I see you, we will start Surah Al-Fatiha, inshallah, and we will go through the tafsir of it, inshallah, next week. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Okay, Jazakallah khair for that wonderful, wonderful lesson. It was a great introduction. And mashallah, I think all of you guys probably benefited from it, even if it was one little tiny thing that you guys picked up. Our Arabic book, right over here on the screen, is this Arabic book, Durus al-Lughat al-Arabiya. And it's a kid's book, and so it's very, very easy to understand. Yes, Sister Anza, I know, who else do I know? I know most of the people who were here. This whole book, it's very, very easy to learn. And there's lots of pictures in it, and so anything that's in the book will be very easy to learn. And inshallah, through these books, there's also another one after this. Inshallah, you'll be able to understand a lot of Arabic. Speaking in Arabic, we will practice a lot. Understanding the Arabic words in the Quran, that's our main focus, right? Learning words, learning how the sentences are made in this Quran. So, here we go. This book, it's used, the person who made it, he's very, very, very highly esteemed. He's very respected, and mashallah, he's written lots of books on Arabic and taught classes at Medina University. So it's a very, very, very good book, and inshallah, we'll be learning from this. So here we go. For the old students, what I wanted to tell you guys is that we have new students as well. So this is how our class is going to go, so that both the new students and the old students and the students who prepared during Ramadan, all 3 of us, all 3 groups will inshallah benefit from the class and learn more. So the people that have already done this lesson with me, have already gone through the book with me, those inshallah, you guys can relax a little bit. You can, let the other students answer my questions, and you can just take this as a review. So make sure you remember everything. I know, mashallah, lots of you guys have already made up these classes. That's great. I want to hear from you now. So this is your test. Think of it as your test. So whatever you've learned, I want to make sure you guys learned it well. Okay. Mashallah, so during Ramadan you must have done that, right? Before school started. Yes, who are the ones who are the first time learning it? What we're going to do is we're going to review these. So it might be a little bit quick, but inshallah I'll stop for questions and everything like that. So the people who are learning this from the start. Okay, So, mashallah, these kids, you guys, I want to hear from you guys. I want to see answers from you guys. I want you guys to be the ones participating in the class. Okay. And pretend, even if you're a slow typer, it's fine. I'll read all of your comments, I promise. I'm still reading them right now. So don't worry, don't think that, Sister Esther is not going to read this. Inshallah, I'll read them. And all we need is some patience, right? Inshallah, we'll cover everything, all your questions. During groups, you'll have practice, everything like that. So you guys, this class is for you. And for the old students, inshallah, after we finish reviewing very quickly, we have this next portion, and that's the very interesting part. So for the old students, yes, I'll give you like a preview. This is the stuff we're going to do in a couple of minutes once we finish reviewing. Okay, here we go. Are you ready to start? If you don't have your books, inshallah, you can follow along and take notes in a notebook. Just keep it all together and ready. Okay, here we go. So, Arabic. We have right up here, Ad-Dars al-Awwal. Here we go. Ad-Dars al-Awwal. Lesson 1. Are you ready? This is our start. Lesson 1. Ad-Dars, the lesson, al-Awwal, the first one. So Ad-Dars al-Awwal, the first lesson. And in this lesson, we're going to learn two very important things. And we'll start with the first one in this very first sentence. And you guys can repeat the sentence after me. Hada baytun. Hada baytun. So I want to... Two words. MashaAllah. So you guys know what this is, right? Hada is a very, very important word. And I think most of you guys know it means this. Hada means this. And baytun, inshallah, we'll get there. First, I want to ask you guys about hada. Yes, the people that have already taken this class, like the old students, those kids can relax. But I think you're new, right? So inshallah, you can answer. I want to hear from you, get to know you guys. Hada is this. It's a word, think about it in English. When do we use this? What kinds of sentences, when do we use this? Yes, Muhammad, even then I want to hear from you, because we didn't get a chance to do it in class. Good. So when we're describing something, good. So we know we're going to be talking about something, right? Hada, this over here, this is a house. Good, exactly. When we point at something, when we want to point something out, right? So we have this picture of a house. When I see the house, I say, this is a house. The picture of the house right there. I want to point it out, and I want to say, this is a house. In Arabic, we have a term. It's a pointing word. And for the people that already know, it's an ism ishara. So we're making a point at something. We're pointing it out. So hada, this. And baytun. What do you think baytun means? For the people that see the picture, obviously it means baytun. A house. Exactly, a house. So we can tell baytun means a house. MashaAllah, exactly. Why do I see some people saying a house and house? Okay, let's get this clear. Hada is this, and baytun is a house. There's something very, very special about this word, and I'll circle the portion that's very important. This baytun, this tanween at the end. So the tanween means two, right? There's this two vowels, and you have this sound. Baytun, we have, two dhammas, dhammatain, also called a tanween. Good. So it's very special because it means something. It shows us something about the word. It means exactly a. When we translate it as a, the a comes from this tanween. Whenever we see that tanween at the end of the word, it can mean a or any. But what does that do? A or any? It means it's very general, right? This is a house. You don't know whose house it is, just a house. Do you understand? Just any house. It's not very specific, right? Not just, it's not Asra's house, it's not Zainab's house, it's not Jaza's house, it's not Talha's house, it's just a house. Good. It's a sign, mashallah, that shows us the word is in general, not specific. So whenever you see this tanween at the end, this, hada, a house, baytun. Okay, So what does this whole sentence mean? The new students, what does this whole sentence mean? So yes, that's very important. You have to remember, not specific. It's general, not specific. Not specific. Yes, it could be anyone's house. It could be, you know, your friend's house. It could be your mother's house, your house. Okay, yes, general. I know you meant that. What does this sentence mean in full? هذا بيت. Now I'm going to say this, هذا بيت. What does that mean? هذا بيت. This is a house. Okay, good. Sumaya, Muhammad, Kinza, all of you guys. You all translated it, mashallah, as this is a house. And I have a question for you guys. Why did you say is? All I see is the in a house. Where did the is come from that you guys are telling me about? What happened? This and a house. Good, exactly. Is comes in between here, but there's no word for it in Arabic. So this language, there's no word for is. You don't need it. You understand it's already there, right? There's no need for it in Arabic. You don't have to say in English, this is a house, right? How we say that, we say the is. But in Arabic, you don't need it. You understand that, هذا بيت, this a house, this is a house. We only put it in English, right? When we translate the sentence, we put the word is in there. So all these little words is, am, are, you don't need them. It's implied. For the people that know what implied mean, it's understood. You know it's there. Yes, there's no word for it in Arabic. Is that clear? Any questions? The rest of the lesson is just vocab, basically. This is the main thing we learn in the lesson. And I'll tell you one more thing about hada. Good, mashallah. So if you have any questions, you're always there for me to stop and you can ask me questions. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. Hada masjidun. I'm going to go a little bit fast now because we went over the main points. Hada masjidun. Good. Again, hada, this. Masjidun, a masjid. Good. Okay. So again, we have this tanween. Whenever we see the tanween, I want to see this is a masjid. Hada masjidun. Okay. Last thing. Whenever we use hada, I know it's not going to be really, important right now, but inshallah in later lessons it will be. Hada. When do we use hada? We used it for a word like baytun. We used it for a word like masjidun. Do you think there's any words you can't use it for? Good. So it's a describing word. It's a pointing word. What kinds of things can we describe it with? We can only describe it with male things. Masculine things. Good. So I'll write hada on the side. Hada on the side. It's a pointing word. And it's used for males. Yes, some of you guys already know, the female, what you use for pointing at female things. But this is for male objects. In Arabic, we have male words and we have female words. Okay, Kinza, it's on the website, logatulquran.com. It's also on YouTube. So you can type, Logatul Quran Arabic Kids Class. So you can find them on both websites. So it's for male things. In Arabic, we have male objects and male people and female objects and female people. In English, we don't have it. So it'll be something that you'll have to practice on. And inshallah, we'll make it very easy for you. So right now, just remember, it's only for things for male objects. Inshallah, we'll learn what you write for female. But baytun and masjidun are both male, so we can use them. And now we have a question. Ma hada? Yes, Aisha, exactly. It's in many other languages, this male-female idea. Ma hada? Ma is a new word, right? We know what hada means. Hada means this. Ma is what? So ma hada is what is this? Again, where did the is come from? All I see is ma and hada. What this? Implied. Good. So the people that don't know what implied means, it means understood. It's already, you suggested in there. You make the other person understand. It's there. Ma hada, what is this? So next time you're unsure, you have to say this to your parents, okay? All of the new students, I want you guys, when you're talking to your parents, you have to use one of these sentences that we learned in the lesson. Ma hada, okay? That's a good one to use. Because you're asking a question, they can answer back. And the answer. Now we have a picture of a masjid. How would you answer this? Try not to type them up, Shifa, just because I like to hear from the new students as well and make sure that they're also picking up. So we see a picture of a masjid. How do we answer, what is this? Ma hada. With just the same thing, right? They ask you, what is this? And you reply, this is. Ma hada? Hada masjidun. Good. So we're pointing to this masjid. This is a masjid. Masjidun. Okay. Last thing I want to ask you. Do you think you're close to the masjid or do you think you're far away from the masjid? If you want to say this is a masjid, do you think that sounds like you're close to it or do you think you're far? Or do you think you're close to the picture or far from the picture? Good, close. It makes sense, right? Because if you were far away, you'd say something like, oh, that over there, that's the masjid. But if you were close by, you could point to it, maybe you could touch it, you could say, this is the masjid. Right over here. Yes, and exactly. In the next lesson, and I'll go over that in 2 minutes, we'll learn the word for how to point something that's far away. So, here we go. Hada masjidun. MashaAllah, so you know the terms for it. MashaAllah, Maryam. You're way advanced. Inshallah, you'll be better than me one day. Yes, exactly. It's called Ism Ishara Kareeb. So, it's a close pointing word. That's the whole phrase. Close pointing word. Okay. Again, we have the same question. Wama hada and hada baytun. Yes, Kinza, don't worry about it. You don't have to know that. But it means close. So all you have to remember is that hada means close. Exactly. We have the next question. Wama hada. What is wa? This is the last thing we're going to learn in this lesson. Wama hada. Good. And. Very short, simple word. And we can use it to connect things, just like we do in English. We can say this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, until we get tired. Wama hada, and this, and what is this? It's a connecting word, exactly. So we can connect so many things together. Wama hada, and what is this? Now you're curious, what is this? You guys tell me, what is this in the picture? So they're asking you, what is this? And you want to point at it and say, this is a house. Good. And in Arabic, how do we do that? We have to use a pointing word and we have to say a house. Good. Hada baytun. Mashallah tayyiba. Good. Hada baytun. This is a house. Do we know whose house it is? No. Good, exactly. We don't know whose house. It's just a house, any house. Okay, so far we have one type of question. We have a ma question. What does ma mean again? Ma means what exactly? Very simple question. What? And now we have the next question. Let's read the next sentence. A masjidun hada? A masjidun hada? That sounded like a question to me, but I don't see ma. So there must be some other kind of question word. So these we have question words. Questions. How do we make questions? So we had the first way, ma. And now we have another question here. But how did we make the question? A masjidun hadha? Good. You guys know what masjidun means? You guys know it means a masjid. You guys see hadha. This means this. And what is making that a question? Besides the question mark, right? Besides the question mark. A masjidun hadha? Exactly, Zaha. Exactly. You're absolutely right. This makes the question. So we have another type of question, an question. It's Hamza Zabar A. Hamza Zabar A. Yes. This single Hamza. A masjidun hadha? So what does this a masjidun hadha mean? Think about it. What could it possibly mean? The last one is the, yes, the last, this is the last question where we're going to learn. Is this a masjid? Good. Is. So we make lots of questions with that in English. You know, is he at school today? Is he at the masjid today? Is he praying? Is he doing this? Right? We ask so many questions about is. So a masjidun hadha, is this a masjid? It's just a question word. How do we answer these questions? Now I'm going to ask you guys, is eating breakfast good? I want you guys to answer the question with one word. Is eating breakfast good? Good. I see yes. I see the answer yes. What about is sleeping very, very, very late good? No. Okay. Is there any other answer you could have given me besides yes or no? Again, I just gave you another yes or no question, right? So these are yes or no questions. Or I don't know, maybe. But there's two definite answers, yes or no. So those are two answers that we always have when we ask a. A masjidun hadha? Yes or no. A masjidun hadha? Is this a masjid? Or you could say, I don't know, but that's more complicated, right? We just want to stick with the very basics right now. And our answer is yes or no. And let's look at the answer for this. Na'am hadha masjidun. I'm not going to tell you guys what na'am means yet. For the new students, I want you guys to figure it out. Na'am hadha masjidun. Na'am, this is a masjid. So what does na'am have to mean? Yes, right? It has to mean yes. We can't say no, this is a masjid, but you ask, you know, is this a masjid? Yes, it's a masjid. So yes, this is a masjid. Na'am. Na'am is one of our answers. Okay, I'm going to skip the next sentence. You guys just tell me what it means. Hadha baytun wa hadha masjidun. It is with ayn, so from the throat. Exactly, Anza. It's one of the haruf halki, one of the throat letters. Hadha baytun wa hadha masjidun. Good. Good. I see lots of everyone's writing it, mashallah. All the new students. This is a house, and so we have this new word, and this is a masjid. So we have two sentences, and we use and to connect them. Okay. Now we have some practice sentences. Inshallah, I won't go over them now. Read through them, and during your groups, we'll try to figure out a group session so that you guys can practice these sentences. All I'm going to go over is this one right here, because there's one last new word you're going to learn in it. So the question was, abaytun hadha? This question was, abaytun hadha? Good. So we have this again, this hamza, single hamza. Is baytun a house? Hada, this. Is this a house? A baytun hada? Is this a house? Now you guys tell me. Look at the picture. Is this a house? Yes or no? La, good. So mashallah, you guys know what no is, right? So no, this looks like a masjid to me, right? A baytun hada? No, no, right? It's a masjid. So let's look at the answer that they gave. La, hada masjidun. So what means no? What means no? Good. This is la right here. So we had la means no. What did yes mean again? Do you guys remember, or should I scroll back up? Yes, exactly. Na'am. So the other answer was na'am. Na'am. Yes. Okay. Mashallah, if you remember this stuff and you remember this fast and you're learning this quickly, you'll be set for the rest of the book. So here we go. The exercises, inshallah, you'll be doing in your groups. Now what I want to do is I want to call back all of the students, every student in my class, all of the old students as well, because we're going to do something very, very exciting. I know I'm going a little bit fast. We don't have much time. So, but yes, you guys are very, very bright, all the new students. I'm impressed by you guys. You're learning so fast and picking it up. So all the old students, this is your time to participate as well. So all of the new students, think about it like this. Mashallah, you are doing stuff you're on the same level now. For lesson 1, you are perfecting it. And you're going to be at the same questions as the old students. Will we get the group leader with some email? Inshallah later. That's a question for after, not during Arabic class. Okay. So lesson 1 and 2 rules. We're going to read some ayat from the Quran. And we have 5 ayat, I think? 5. 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 ayat. And I'm going to read them, and I want you guys to tell me what you recognize, what you remember from the lesson. How can you see the stuff that we learned from this book in the Quran? Is this up so we can recognize the familiar words? Exactly, Kinza, exactly. So I want you guys to tell me, I've seen this ayah before. MashaAllah, the more you memorize, the easier it will be to remember Arabic words. Okay, here we go. The first ayah is from Surah An'am, ayah 96. Surah An'am, ayah 96. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وهذا كتاب أنزلناه مبارك مصدق وهذا كتاب أنزلناه مبارك مصدق. So we have this long sentence here. Maybe you guys have read something similar to this or remember this ayah. What do you guys see in it? And yes, the old students, they recognize 3 words. The new students, do you recognize 3 words as well? Does everyone recognize these 3 words? MashaAllah, good. 3 words. At the very beginning, وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ. Maybe if the new students didn't recognize this word, but inshallah, this is a very easy word. And I'll teach you it right now. It means book. It means book. Just like the name of the Quran was Al-Kitab, the book. Kitabun is a book. Just a book. Here. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ. Yes, don't worry about the other words, but exactly, you're right. أَنزَلْنَاهُ means sent down. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ. Yes, the very beginning of the book. And this is a book which we have sent down, bringing blessings and confirming. And this is a book. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ. And هَذَا, this, kitabun, a book. MashaAllah, so you recognized half of that ayah. You were able to figure out what half of that ayah meant. Okay, Beanie, since you recognized half of it, you can figure out what the rest means as well, right? You can figure out the rest. Anzalnahu, we have sent down. Mubarakun, bringing blessings. Musaddiqun, and confirming. Actually, the and isn't really there, but. So once you figured out some of the words, you can figure out the rest as well. I want to ask you guys a question. Kitabun is a book, but which book are we talking about? MashaAllah, you guys are smart. I think you can figure this out. Which book are we talking about? And this is a book, which we have sent down, bringing blessings and confirming. Good, exactly. We're talking about the Quran. Quran. Oh, there we go. The Holy Quran, exactly. And this is a book. So even though it said a book, you guys were able to figure out which book we were talking about. Yes, in the tafsir class we learned that al-kitab was another word for Quran. So وَهَذَا kitab, and this is a book. We're pointing it out, right? How do you know we're pointing it out? How do we know we're, saying something special about this? We're pointing it out and saying this is a book. What's telling you that? This hada, exactly. So وَهَذَا kitabun. No problem. وَهَذَا kitabun, and this is a book. Yes, we're using hada right now, pointing word. We're pointing the kitab out. We're pointing this Quran out. And we're talking about it. Anzalnahu, mubarakun, and musaddiqun. So we're talking about it. We're describing it. Okay. Let's move on to the next ayah. Hada siratum mustaqim. This is from Surah Yasin, ayah 61. Hada siratum mustaqim. I think all of you guys have heard these words before, right? Sirat and mustaqim. Hada siratum mustaqim. Hada. You guys know what hada is this? Good, Kinza. Mashallah, mashallah. You guys understood it. Hada is this? Sirat, a path, mustaqim. Straight. This is a straight path. Hada siratum mustaqim. This is a straight path. How did you guys know it was A? Hada siratum mustaqim. What did you guys see in the ayah? Good, you saw tanween. You saw tanween and you realized this is a path. Hada siratum mustaqim. Because of that tanween. But even though it's a path, even though it's kind of general, which path are we talking about? Can you guys figure it out? This is like a puzzle. Can you guys piece together all the little words and figure out what we're talking about? Hada siratum mustaqim. This is a straight path to Jannah, mashallah. So some of you guys mentioned Jannah. This is a straight path of Islam, right? Of peace, Islam, obedience. Hada siratum mustaqim. Where does it lead? Straight to, mustaqim. Not going too much to the left, too much to the right, straight. Straight to Jannah, mashallah, right? All of you guys got that. Hada siratum mustaqim. I'm telling you, if you guys can figure this out, you guys are very, very, very bright. And inshallah, even when you're in school, when you are able to figure these things out, little tiny things based on little tiny details, you guys will be at the top of the class, mashallah. You guys are so bright. Hada siratum mustaqim. This is a straight path. Straight. Mustaqim. Okay, and we also say that in Surah Fatiha, right? Sirat al-ladina. Sirat. Rohina, if you want to copy down some interesting things that you learned, maybe you learned sirat means path, or if you want to write down that, kitabun is another word for Quran, you can write that down. Take some notes, little notes. It's good practice for writing. Yes, we'll also send it to you, so don't worry. The next ayah is from Surah A'raf, ayah 114. Good, Muhammad recognized it. Ihdana siratal mustaqim. Same thing. Straight path. Guide us to the straight path. Siratal mustaqim. Okay, Surah A'raf, ayah 114. Qala na'am. Wa innakum laminal muqarrabin. قال نعم وإنكم لمن المقربين. Good. Rohina said she was writing this stuff down. She was writing down the words. It's very good practice writing. قال نعم. Good, mashallah. I think you guys recognize na'am. This na'am. Yes. Muqarrabeen. Okay. Let's go over the full translation of the ayah and I'll tell you some little things about it. I think you guys are bright enough that you'll pick up on it. قال نعم. He said yes. He said yes. وَإِنَّكُمْ لَمِنَ الْمُقَرَّبِينَ. So you guys recognized yes. What does qala mean? So you have the translation in front of you. You guys know what na'am means? So what does qala mean? Qala na'am. Oh, ye is an old word for like you. He said, good. So we figured out that qala meant he said. And you'll see that in lots of different ayahs. Qala na'am. He said yes. Wa. Wa. Yes. Aman got it. Sabiha, good. Zara, Aisha, all these new students. I'm so happy you guys are beating the old students and now it's a race. Wa. And. Right? And. Now we're connecting something. We're connecting two different things he's saying. Qala na'am. And. He said yes, and. Innakum lamina al-muqarrabeen. For you shall in that case be raised to post nearest to my person. Oh, okay. Anam, it's actually implied. Don't worry about like little things. Huwa you don't have to say. Huwa, yeah. Don't worry about that. But qala means, you know, like he said. Okay. Wa innakum lamina al-muqarrabeen. Yes. So we have that. We recognize two words from that. So we recognize like a third of it. Let's move on to the next one. Surah Balad. And this is from the 30th juz. So maybe you guys have already memorized this ayah. La uqsimu bihadha al-balad. La uqsimu bihadha al-balad. Yes, you can ask questions. As long as they're relevant, I'll answer them. La uqsimu bihadha al-balad. Good. And all of you guys, for a second I got confused because I was like, why are you guys writing no? No. This is the word you guys recognized, right? La. Right here, la. Right here in the translation. So even without seeing the translation, you knew it was going to start with no. La uqsimu bihadha al-balad. No, I swear or I make an oath. Yes, it does. Kinza, it does. Okay, good. So we recognize that. Also, we here we go. Okay, la uqsimu bihadha al-balad. I make an oath. Yes, Shiza, I'm not going to go there for now, but as long as you saw this, that's fine. So the next ayah is from Surah Nisa, ayah 82. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. So what did you guys recognize from this? أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Good. Okay, so we see for the new students, you guys recognize this this hamza, What does the do? And yes, most of you guys probably recognize this al-Quran at the end. What does the do? So that means it's a question. Good, Kinza, exactly. That means it's a question. Good. So, أَفَلَا يَتَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. So look, we have a question mark. MashaAllah, you guys got it. Okay, Beanie, yes. It's a yes or no question basically. This Do they not consider the Quran? Al-Quran. Good. So you recognize this, the Quran. The Quran. The question itself means, do they not consider the Quran? The reason you have this is to make it a question. Kinza, we won't go into the very, very specifics for now. Inshallah, later we will. It's a question word, exactly. I just want to make sure you guys are seeing the new words. And the last one. وَذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ مَشْهُودٌ. وَذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ مَشْهُودٌ. Okay. This is from lesson 2. And something from lesson 1 as well. So everyone, I think, should have recognized this wa. وَذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ مَشْهُودٌ. And then some of you guys recognize dhalika. Dhalika is another pointing word. And dhalika is a pointing word. Let's look in the translation. It means that. So that meaning something that's far away, right? Dhalika, that, far away. But in the Quran you use it to give some kind of respect. So not that it's far away, meaning time. But what are we talking about? وَذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ مَشْهُودٌ. That is a day of testimony. What is this day of testimony? What is this day of testimony? A day. Good. So you recognize the tanween, mashallah. Oh, the translation just doesn't have it because it's not there. But you guys know that what means and. Okay. What are we talking about? Day of testimony. Day of testimony. Yom Mashhud. What is this day of testimony? Good. The day of judgment, the last day, right? And this is the day of testimony. وَذَلِكَ يَوْمٌ مَشْهُودٌ. It's a day that you're going to be giving testimonies. So, and here we end, right? This is our last ayah. So I hope you guys enjoyed looking at these ayahs. This was the kind of test for me to see who remembered which words. Mashallah, yes, it's fun. So maybe you can try doing that by yourself and looking through the Quran and trying to pick out as many words as you can in as many ayahs as you can. Okay, Jazakallah khair a lot. You guys participated excellently. I'm really, really proud of the new students as well for being able to handle even the Quran. Jazakallah khair. Alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and Jazakallah khair.